Dubin is here, and I'm super pumped and super excited for you right now because I'm going to interview my dear mentor, Diane Hochman, someone who I learned so much. And just to introduce properly, who is this person that is sitting right now in front of me? So you're ready to take lots of notes because we are going to share so much valuable information to help you build a home business. So I just want to introduce Diane properly. You know, Diane is a professional home business entrepreneur, helping and coaching tens of thousands of people around the world for the last 15 years how to build successful home businesses. And being a stay-at-home mom, you know, Diane has built multiple six-figure business income businesses. She's a top leader in our space. Diane won numerous marketing awards, trips, affiliate contests, and cash prizes. She has spoken many times on stage at major industry events and done hundreds of webinars. Diane is L6 galactic leader, no joking aside, and she is #2 all-time producer in My Lead System Pro, which is the largest lead generation and attraction marketing system online for home business entrepreneurs. And there are like only 2 people in the entire internet who are at L6 level right now, and Diane is one of them. So she's been known as an attraction marketing queen. She's an author of multiple products like Attraction Marketing Intensive, The Guru Code, The Deep Abyss, and many, many others. I, of course, bought all of them. Has been a great student of Diane. And I can go on and on and on about this incredible smart woman. But I just want to introduce her, and you're in for a real treat. Diane, how are you doing?
Wow, you need to come with me everywhere I go. That was some introduction. Thank you.
You deserve it, you know, because people need to right now, like, oh my goodness, I better get listened to it. I gotta put everything aside because we are going to get into some good stuff right now.
Don't worry. What's he going to ask me? I know you're going to dig deep. I love it. Love it.
I know. Yeah. So I just want to start this interview by tell us a little bit about your story, how everything started for you, Diane, and what were some of the major turning points along your journey?
Well, it all started in 1999. I was home with my kids. I had 2 little kids, and we were kind of broke. I had left my job, and we were deep in debt. And my husband's father bought me some products from my husband's cousin, and I was using these products, and he invited me to a meeting, and I didn't know what the meeting was. I had no idea. So I go to this meeting, and it was an opportunity meeting, and I said, this is it. I'm going to fix all our problems. It's going to be incredible. And so in October of 1999, I signed up for a major network marketing company, so that was the beginning. And that was kind of
to get rich. I'm going to get rich, right?
I'm gonna, actually, you know what? I joke about it because I in my deepest dreams, I wish that I could be really successful. But in the beginning, I really just wanted $500 a month because we needed to really pay off some things and stuff like that. So I wasn't, I wasn't like out to get rich. I was out to stay home with my kids because I really was going to have to get a job if I didn't do something. And the job made no sense because by the time you paid for childcare and put on a suit and everything, you weren't really going to make much money anyway. So, so that's how it all started. That was 15 years ago. It's a long time.
Incredible. And you started marketing online about when?
2000 or so. Really shortly after. I mean, the internet wasn't what it is today, but I ran out of warm market. Did that, made some money, everybody quit, and stuff like that. They went off their diets and they quit. Went through, trying to go out and, I had little kids, so I was trying to go to the mall and prospect people. But that was hard because then your kid would have a dirty diaper, start screaming. And I was very shy, and that was difficult for me. Tried to call leads at night, but again, that kept me locked up away from the family, and I didn't really like it. I felt like I was bothering people. And so I turned to the internet late at night trying to figure out how to make it all work.
And it wasn't like it is right now.
Yeah, well, I found a course just like many people have found, some of the courses that we specialize in today. And that course said, I'm going to show you how to get people to call you instead of you having to call the people. And I said, well, that's perfect, because if the people were interested and they came to me, it would be easy. I wouldn't feel funny. I wouldn't feel like I was overcoming objections and stuff. And so I took this course, rolled quarters to buy it because I didn't have any money. And the rest is history. That course was what introduced me to what we call today attraction marketing. And I started putting together some really simple marketing systems, but they worked like crazy. And still today, my systems are very simple, very, very simple, but they worked like crazy. I was doing massive amounts of volume, recruiting massive amounts of people. And that all went along great. And then around 2005, through accident, sweet serendipity, I met the man who wrote that course. And we started working together. And right then was the beginning of blogs and social media. Video came out in 2006. You have to remember, Vitaly, during this time period, there was no audio, there was no video, and there were no images on the internet. Having
oh my goodness.
was extremely expensive, and nobody had very much bandwidth. So, you know, everybody was like dialing up. If you put an image on your website, it took 20 minutes for the page to load. Nobody would read it. So the dawn of audio, let alone video, was a big deal. And I just started using the new social media, what we called Web 2.0 at the time. And the rest is history. Everything went wild. I mean, you know, people were banging down my door and wanting to hire me, and I had all these opportunities, and I've been flown in all different parts of the world. It's been crazy, like a fairy tale. So it's cool.
Incredible. And I remember you telling one time a story where you started doing videos and you were sitting late at night trying to put up your first video on your channel. Now you have like 800 something videos on your channel.
I should have a lot more videos. It's just that business took off so much that, yeah, it was crazy. But the first video, getting that thing uploaded, was no fun at all. No fun.
Yeah, we'll get into attraction marketing in a moment. And what I love about you is that you keep those system really simple. So people, once they start learning from you, it's like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize that it can be that simple, and people tend to overcomplicate things.
They really do.
I want to ask you, what are the most important lessons that you've learned along the way? What are the biggest keys that you found how to build a successful home business?
I think first you have to believe in something. You have to have a belief in, your product and your program. You really have to, most of all, have a belief in yourself. I think most people struggle not due to technology or technique. I think they struggle due to self-image. I think that they just don't believe that somebody should trust them, so they can't possibly market well. So it's really working on that, working on your mindset, working on your self-image, I think, is the biggest key.
So yeah, I agree with you 100%. If people believe more in themselves, in what they do, in their products, in the people that they're trying to reach, in their prospects, in their team, it all comes down to ultimately, what is it in your head? It's not the marketing strategy particular, or lead generation strategy, or traffic getting method, or something like that. It's all, how you feel inside, how much you believe in yourself, how much you trust yourself, isn't it?
It really is. All the techniques are very important, and there's so many incredible options that we have today for marketing, but it boils down to that all the time. If you don't believe in your message, your videos are going to be terrible. If you don't believe in your message, your emails are going to be terrible. If you don't believe in your message, your conversations are going to be terrible. So even if you use a done-for-you system, once you get the lead, if you don't feel comfortable in talking with them and believing that you can help them, they're not going to sign with you. So it really all boils down to it, no matter how technical you get. You can't avoid it. You can't avoid working on that part.
Yeah, so I wonder what is your message, like in the core of your passion? I mean, why you do what you do?
Vitaly, it's funny. Ever since I was a little kid, I was a little different. I never quite fit in the box. Okay, I at school I was different than the other kids. I was precocious. You know, I was always reading something that kids my age shouldn't be reading, or watching something kids my age shouldn't be watching. I was much more comfortable with the adults than the kids. I was just weird. Okay, put that together with today. You know, I'm old enough that we didn't know what ADHD was at the time, but knowing now and looking back on it and having a daughter that has it, I know that I had ADHD. So my trouble sitting still, or my trouble, you know, paying attention, what, you know, it was because it was boring, you know, and I just was fidgety. So I'd be like reading a book under my desk when the teacher was talking, and they'd catch me and I'd get in trouble. So, and as an adult, I got, you know, I grew up and I got a job, and I never had a problem getting a job and getting a great job. But I'd always get, after about a year, I'd get like really restless. Even my last job, it was a terrific job. I worked 10 months a year. I worked in student development with, you know, college kids. We got to go on trips and parties. It was a great job when you look at it, but I still couldn't stay in the box. So for me, my task is to go out and locate all the people that are just different, that don't fit in the box, and show them that they can be free. We can be free. We can be with our kids. We can travel. We can pursue our music, our art, whatever it is. We can work. I like to work at night. I'm not a morning person. Don't talk to me before 10 o'clock in the morning. I just can't function. You know, and that doesn't work in society. So freedom to do and be who you are is my biggest thing. And this profession gives us opportunity to be who we are. And it doesn't exist anywhere else.
Unreasonable people rule the world. let's all be weird and reasonable, because we have to have those big dreams, lofty dreams, and unreasonable things, and we kind of don't fit the box in the society, and that's what drives really, you know, growth and entrepreneurialism. So that's awesome. All right, then. So I want to ask you, what are some of the biggest mistakes that you see people make over and over and over again? Some traps that people fall into that cause them to fail in this industry, and the biggest myth that people believe in.
Okay, the first one is chasing shiny objects. It's believing that success sits outside of you. So you keep thinking that another person or a program is the success. So you keep switching, thinking that success will come with if you switch, and not realizing that the success lies inside of you. You know, obviously marketers are here to market to you. It's our job to show you things that you might want to buy. And as entrepreneurs, it's our job to stay focused. So people moving around a lot and chasing after things a lot. I think the next thing is not plugging into some mentorship. Picking a person that you want to study with and plugging into them and studying with them for at least 90 days. You know, if you get a real true mentor, it'll be a lot longer than that. But a lot of people are like, I meet people, they're taking 4 courses at once. How can you focus when this, you know, this is saying this and this is saying this? I think another thing, which I probably should have said first, is not learning the fundamentals first. It's like building the foundation for your house. It doesn't matter how fancy it is upstairs. If the foundation isn't solid, it's going to collapse. I meet people that have absolutely incredible websites but don't know how to make a presentation. Meet people who have absolutely incredible websites and funnels but don't know how to talk to a person or close a sale. Don't know how to build an event or get people to one. Don't know how to write an offer. So fundamental. You know, and then the last thing I think that everybody, I see people constantly, especially in the network marketing arena, you got to build a list, guys. You got to build a list, even if it's just a warm market list of people that you know, so you can mass communicate. You must learn to use an autoresponder, and you must learn to communicate with your list. The days of just dialing everybody and trying to sell something or following up on prospects in an awkward, you know, calling them again way, it's not that they're over, it's just that you don't have to do that anymore. There's something much, much better. So I'd say those are some of them. Foundation is the big one. Foundation and shiny object keeps people going in circles.
So you mentioned trap number 1 is people chasing different shiny objects, and they're not focused, and they don't realize it's not about the company, the product. It's about you. It's about who you are inside. Number 2, you said people take too many courses all at once, and they're overwhelmed, and they're just, you know, they're not focused. And number 3 is, you said mentors. You need to have a mentor. right? And work with him closely, and then work on your foundation, marketing skills, how to talk to people, basic human psychology, how to
Correct.
present, how to close, and build a list. Learn how to build a list and talk to your list, and that's a big key. Any other major mistakes people make or traps they fall into?
No, I think those are the major ones. They're just they're chasing something instead of standing still and planting their flag and building a foundation. I think that that's the biggest key. It's just if you keep moving and moving and moving and moving, you can't get roots. You can't get roots.
Have to have roots. So when was the first time that you come across My Lead System Pro, and why you became a member back then?
Well, actually, can I tell truth?
Of course.
The first time I came across My Lead System Pro was when it opened, and I didn't become a member for 3 years. Here's the truth.
2008.
Yes, and I didn't become a member until 2011. And so for a couple reasons. One, I was very heavy into a project that I was working on, so it wouldn't make sense to get distracted, even though something new and hot was going on. Two, at the time there was a lot of startups and a lot of things, and there was a lot of all kinds of systems and stuff because attraction marketing was like the big thing at the time. And I'll be truthful, I didn't know if it was going to last. So I'm kind of a slow and steady kind of girl. And I'm saying this for a reason. I wasn't sure. And I wasn't sure about it because there was a lot of hype surrounding it because everybody was just learning about this. And you know how when something's new, everybody just goes nuts in the marketplace. And I was with the original king of attraction marketing, the guy who created it before Mike Dillard. So I was just kind of like poo-pooing it, But then it was funny because 3 years later, they were still there. And 4 years later, they were still there. And now it's 7 years later, and they are rock solid, have never missed a check, have been the leading source of training in this arena, in our space, incredible community, incredible leadership. So truthfully, I guess I'm just not a startup kind of girl maybe, but I poo-pooed it at first and then I couldn't deny it anymore. And I'm very proud to be here and very excited to be a galactic leader here at My Lead System Pro. So that's the truth.
Right.
I wasn't going to sugarcoat
just
it.
4 years later, and you're like on the top of everything there. And I think that you came into the system and you were already successful, and you kind of gained a lot of momentum fast, right?
Well, I didn't come to MLSP to make it. I came to MLSP having already a name for myself and was already out speaking at the different events. I came to MLSP because I wanted a place to call home, a place to hang my hat, a place where I could really share the gifts that were given to me by my mentor about these thought processes and ideas. And they had an incredible audience and incredible infrastructure. So I just said, this is, I'm going to give this place a whirl and take a look. And here we are, however many years later, having slowly but surely, I think I surprised everybody a little bit. I don't know that everybody, because I'm not such the big internet marketer like some folks are. So I don't think so I think that everybody's, when I told Brian, the founder, I said, I'm going to hit L6, like, whatever day. He goes, you are? And then he goes, oh snap, she is. So I speak up on people slowly but surely.
I know Brian says it all the time. I don't know what Diane is doing, it's kind of like mysterious to me, how she generates leads out of thin air, but just stuff happens and people love Diane, and she's just I don't know what's going on here, but you need to learn from Diane. and now you're like
just old-fashioned networking and list building. It's just very simple. It's just old-fashioned networking, list building, and offer writing. Nothing new. I mean, it's kind of great old direct response. It's been around for 100 years. It's just simplified.
We're going to dig into it a little bit in a moment. I just want to ask you first. You are known as an attraction marketing queen, right? You kind of like coined this term, and you say it's your life's work. Really, like your your attraction marketing intensive course. You said it's your life's work. So help us understand what is attraction marketing really?
Attraction marketing is, well, most people, they have push marketing. They're outgoing to get people. Okay, they're pushing their message. Attraction marketing is pull marketing. It's putting out a message and having people go, oh, I love that, and having them attract towards you in their time, which is what I think a lot of people don't understand. Like MLSP, I was attracted when they opened. It wasn't my time. And
Right.
but they stood there and they were consistent, and then eventually I went, it's my time, and there I was. Attraction is chemical, and it's about a way a person feels, and we're using different media on the internet, and it could be written, it could be video, it could be audio. We're putting different pieces of marketing content, whether it's paid or free, all over the internet. And through that, people are locating us and finding us. And some people are going, I love this guy. And other people are going, I don't like this guy. And that's attraction marketing, is that by time people come and they put their name and their email in, or they pick up the phone to call you, you're only dealing with the exact people that want to talk to you. Can you imagine? And I know you do.
Isn't it amazing?
But guys, can you imagine if you only had to talk to 3 to 5 people a day to make multi-6 figures, and they were the exact people that wanted to talk to you, because your systems and communication is sorting and selecting and searching, and at times even sponsoring for you, because a lot of times we put out a link and the people sign themselves up, and they call you after they signed up and they go, I'm in. That's what attraction marketing is, and it is the best thing since sliced bread, and I love teaching people about it. So that's what
yeah, I see that you're so passionate about it. Yeah, I mean, this is how we should operate, to put up value out there in the marketplace, attract people to us, and then speaking to people who qualify themselves, who want to talk to us, who already know kind of who we are. They heard our story, and they're like, oh my God, I'm talking to Diane Hochman right now. I want to be part of what she's doing, right?
And then the only issue is, what's the right choice for them? It's a very matter-of-fact conversation now. You don't have to do a script or be fancy or anything else. It's just like, awesome, let me show you what we have. Would you like this membership or this membership? Awesome, here's the 3 choices, whatever. Awesome, here's the dates for the event. Can you make it? Whatever you're selling. Awesome, here's the tool. It's $27 and there's an upgrade in the back that's $97 if you want it. Let me know when you get it. I'll show you how it works. It's a very matter of fact. There is no more convincing or chasing. It's people come to you because they want to talk to you, and you just show them what you got. And Vitaly, the thing that's funny is, it's just like stores always used to operate. You'd go in the store, you'd tell them what you were looking for, they'd show you what they had. If you liked what they had, you'd buy it. And if you didn't, you'd say, oh, I'm sorry, you don't have it, thanks so much. And it was a nice relationship. There wasn't like anything weird, If I go in the store, and if I go into a restaurant and they don't have pickles and I want pickles, I'm not mad at the guy. He just doesn't have what I need today. And so the relationship is preserved, and then because they were attracted to you in the first place, they come back again the next time you're selling something different, a new course, a different residual opportunity, whatever the case may be. You build up a base, and they buy from you over and over and over again, and then you get to hang out and go on trips and have fun. It's pretty good.
You mentioned that you putting out content out there in front of articles, blog posts, videos, and doing it consistently. So part of attraction marketing is you need to, for years create content out there on the internet, or what is kind of how do you engineer attraction so that maybe you have 10 videos out there, 15 videos, but people start coming to you?
Well, you can use the leverage of advertising. I have a funny feeling this interview will be around for years, but right now we happen to have an incredible window on Facebook. The video advertising on Facebook is like dirt cheap. It's incredible what you can, the amount of exposure you can get. Another way to do it is to get exposure through another leader that has influence, or an organization. For example, My Lead System Pro, I know they put you on some of their top level things, and they have you speaking to the whole group, so that gets publicized all over the internet, so that gives you leverage and exposure. Another way to do it is to promote. You know, take your content. If you're on a budget, get out there and promote it and share it around. Put it in the groups, get it on Twitter, get it on, you know, make a video about it, put it on YouTube, go ahead and put it on StumbleUpon. There's all the social media sites. Another way you can do it is network and get to know people. And when you create something good, like if you and I were neighbors and something good were going on in the neighborhood, I might pick up the phone and go, hey, guess what's going on? Tell your daughter to come down because there's, you know, I don't know, there's sheep or something to pet, or I don't know, something fun.
Right.
Carnival. And you would welcome that phone call. So when I take a piece of content and I run around and I tell people that I think would like it, that it would be helpful to, hey, I just made this video. Nothing wrong with shooting the video out to 10, 20, 30 people. You know, that it would be helpful to, not because you're selling them, but because you're giving them a hand. So the next thing you know, lots of people are seeing your offer. And of course, we're building that list. If you only had 10 people on your list, but you wrote it every day consistently with good, solid information and offers, the chances of you selling 2 of them within 10 days is huge. Just that most people won't make an offer. They won't write it. They won't say it. They're afraid.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of the things that you teach us, and that's incredibly important. I know a lot of people, they put up some content out there, you know, but it's not like you know, just making a video will get you results. It's your whole attitude, your energy, it's how you structure a video. You know, that plays a part, right, in the equation to get results.
I think that people forget. Anytime you're writing or speaking, you want to invite people to something, whether it's over to your blog if you have one, whether it's to your fan page on Facebook, whether it's to a webinar tonight, whether it's to sign up to your newsletter through a capture page. We're always talking, building relationship, and pointing. Here's your next place to go. This is your next step. And when they get to the next step, often in the next step, we're able to offer them something or put them in front of a presentation of some type.
That's a call to action. So every video you create, every post, call to action. And then the whole purpose is you are either directing them to a capture page to build your list, and then, you know, communicate with them via email, or to your blog, and from your blog they can subscribe to your email list, and then you communicate them through via email, right? And it's all about building those relationships and being in front of their face every day, right?
Over and over and over and over. So a trust builds. When the trust builds, they feel comfortable with clicking your sales offers, coming to your webinars, and eventually buying from you. It can happen very fast if somebody's ripe and you have the right offer, and it can happen over time. And again, I use the example of me. I'm the #2 producer in MLSP. It took 3 years for me to join. What if you know, what if they'd written me off? What if they had thought, forget about Hochman, forget about her? You know, it's if you
Absolutely.
keep filling your hopper, if you keep building that list, as soon as you get it filled up enough, people will pop out every day. Sales will pop out every day. You don't have to go years to make a sale. That's a mindset.
That's a mindset, absolutely. I know, Diane, that you are, you know, barely doing any kind of big stuff, paid advertising, you know, and yet you're magically generate leads every day like clockwork whenever you want. You know, what are your favorite ways to generate leads online?
This is my magic wand.
Yeah.
I got it for my birthday. She gave it to me. It's my magic wand.
Look, she already generated 5 leads right now, just by waving this thing.
You know, first of all, there's 3 things I do every day, no matter what. It doesn't matter where I am. It doesn't matter if I'm sick or anything else. I meet 10 people a day. I always meet 10 people a day in our space. So I'm always networking, meeting new people, and building my warm market. I'm always creating a piece of content. Sometimes I'll do 7 of them in a day, so I don't have to do them every single day, but I'm always creating a piece of content or getting a piece of content out there, and I'm always writing my list. So, and in the content and in the meeting people, I'm always inviting people to be on my list. So there's always people that are just naturally meeting me or becoming aware of me that are getting on my list. Plus my content is driving people to their list. And when you get to a place like I am, there's so much content floating around over time. You have so much internet real estate that people are always discovering you. But here's what's cool. I mean, look at, you know, our good friend Bert Bledsoe taught Bert this stuff. and Bert went to work. Bert now has more videos than me in like a year and a half than I have in, you know, however many years since we've been doing them. Bert went to work and he uses the same techniques. He just went on turbo because he's younger than me, on fire. Guys, leads are everywhere. I mean, all you have to do is talk to someone, you know. I mean, a lot of people are busy building stuff and they haven't said hello to anyone today and said, I have a great newsletter that would help you out. So I do that. I do a lot of video. I do a lot of Facebook, and I have secret techniques so I will not be revealing here.
No.
I will not be revealing those here.
It's advanced Facebook marketing course with Diane Hochman. You can subscribe in 2 weeks. I'm just kidding.
Maybe me and you, we'll do it up. Let's do it up. Secret webinar.
Yeah. So you're saying basically there are 3 things that you will do every day, no matter what. You know, it's meeting at least 10 new people, building relationships, and then you're creating a piece of content, at least one, you know, a video or a blog post.
And promoting it. Let's be clear. I don't just
promote it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Of course.
A lot of people, like, they take it literally and they make it, and then it sits in their computer, and I'm like, well, no, you have to show it to people. So, yeah.
What kind of you create? You create videos, or what is that you create?
Videos, written pieces. You know, I write articles and notes. You know, for Facebook, a lot of video, and even on Facebook, if you've built up an audience on Facebook, you can even do, like, yesterday, 2 days ago, my guys were all freaking out. I wrote something on Facebook and it had like 400 comments and you know, and 500 likes. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a piece of content, because the dialogue after the piece is there's so many people looking at it. Sometimes it's more valuable than just publishing a video or an article or a blog post, you know, because you can engage. So
you can publish a video direct to your Facebook fan page and have people. It's like a mini blog, your Facebook fan page.
Absolutely. The big key is getting dialogue and conversation going on around the content instead of it just being static. If nobody, you know, if you make content and nobody sees it, it doesn't really propel anything for you. But Kelly, I got to tell you, these 3 things, they sound so dumb. They sound like, really? That's it? But if you do it consistently, what starts to happen is your list is building up and you're writing to the list every day. So you're becoming a good copywriter. So through this process, you're becoming a good speaker, you're becoming a good presenter, you're becoming a good copywriter, and you're becoming a great networker. And those are foundational skills. It's just that most people don't want to do it every day, and they don't realize that it's 6 months later, a year later, and they haven't developed the foundation. So that's why I teach those 3 things.
I know, and since I learned this stuff, I started to apply it, you know, and I had no results. And after I started talking to people, like you said, and building relationships, creating pieces of content every day, boom, you know, my business exploded. So I'm a live testament. So this stuff, it works. It may be simple, you know, you might brush it off, but you know, this is the kind of stuff that you need to try it and see it for yourself. So you mentioned, you know, one of the cool things that you do is you just say people, hey, you know, I have a great newsletter that you know, you want to check out. Just, you know, tell us a little bit more about this simple thing that you do.
Well, it's interesting. If you really believe in yourself and your message, even if whether you're new or been around the block for a while, what happens is when you talk to people and just meet them, and I'm not talking about soliciting them or trying to recruit them, you just meet people, generally speaking, they're going to defer to you. They're going to make what I call true confessions. Sooner or later, they're going to tell you they're struggling. Just in the first couple minutes of conversation, whether it's on Facebook or in person, you talk for a minute or two and you talk about your dogs, cats, kids, whatever, and then sooner or later the person will ask about business. And then depending on how you carry yourself, they're almost always going to confess to you, I'm struggling. Okay, unless you come off weak. If you come off weak, then you're going to be the one making the true confession. But in the conversation, one of 2 people is going to make true confessions, and you want to be the strong one so that they do. And as soon as they make true confession, then it's really easier for you to say, you know, I have a really great newsletter, and I was just thinking about putting something out about that topic. Let me put you on it and let me whip something up. I'm sure it will help you. And when you talk to somebody from that perspective, is I'm going to help you, they just lay right. They're dying to be on your newsletter. They don't feel like you tried to get them. They're like, oh my God, really? That would be so great. The next thing you know, you have all these people opening your emails. I mean, my open rates and my conversion rates are ridiculous. They're silly. I'm like embarrassed to say what they are because they're stupid silly. And everybody's like, that's not possible. I'm like, well, it is. It's just the way that we engage the people and bring them through. It takes a little bit longer at the beginning, but who here wants to write a letter and make 20 grand? And I'm not making income claims. I'm not saying that's going to happen for any of you. I'm saying that these things are possible. And 20 grand is touching the, it's just the tip of the iceberg. To be able to make an offer when you have a list that loves you, to be able to say, how would you like to be the #1 in all the affiliate contests, #2, #3, with barely, lifting your pinky because you have so much info. This is it. This is it.
That's awesome. So what I hear from you is that before you actually say them, hey, I have a great newsletter, it will help you out. I was thinking about talking about this topic that you're actually making sure that those people that you are talking to, they feel that you're real, that you're there to help them. You have some sort of a relationships and trust going on before you talk about it, right?
Yeah, I don't just plow in, and it will be the same as pitching everybody on my MLM. You seem like a like-minded individual. Do you have 15 minutes where you can take a look? You look like you're sharp. Do you keep your eye open for opportunities? And you say that to like every person. It's like weird. So I'm not going to talk to every single person I meet and be like, I have a great newsletter. I have a great newsletter. I have a great No, I need to get to, it takes a few minutes, hey, what are you doing? How's it going? What's going on? Talk about the weather, dogs, cats, kids, sports, whatever, is on their wall, whatever's important to them. Like right now, you guys see me, I'm sitting in front of my fireplace. What's important to me? My kids.
Your kids.
Their baby pictures back there. So if you had nothing but this picture to go on, you could say, who are those cutie patooties behind you on the mantle? And I say, oh, those are my kids back when they were little. They're almost 19 and 22 now. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh. And then you have a nice conversation, and then you're able to turn to business. And by then they're in love with you because nobody else cared, because everybody else went, you look like you're sharp. Do you keep your options open? Here's my link.
Yeah, that's definitely very different than what most people do. Either they're just spam you with some of their stuff, or they're just go straight to business. And what you kind of take a look at the person's profile, right? You kind of notice a couple things, and you maybe make some compliments, or trying to see what you have in common first, and talk about that for a moment to see that you're two real human beings connected right now. Nothing to do with business, right? You do it first and establish this common ground, and then afterwards you kind of start asking them some questions and digging in a little bit what they do, right? You do that. You ask them some questions about what it is that they're doing, stuff like that, and find their pains.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even put it in sequence like that. I don't think about it like that. Like, I'm just tooling around knowing that I got the cookie and I want to see who else wants some. I'm not, I don't look for their pain. I don't look for the guy that's like doubled over in pain. I'm just meeting people. And when I meet, it's like if I were walking around my neighborhood and I'm waving at everybody's out raking their lawn. The weather's real nice out now. And I'm waving at everybody. And I see like one of my neighbors across the street is elderly. If I see her and she's picking up sticks, I might go, oh, Jenny, let me help you. And I go over and chat with her for a few minutes, and I pick up sticks, and then she might tell me something about what's going on, and I might have a solution for her. It's the same thing. I see somebody that's struggling with something, or I see somebody that's having fun. I go over and have fun with them. So what happens is you start to build relationship with everybody in the neighborhood. Well, the home business space is a neighborhood, and it's really easy to build a warm market of people that absolutely want to make money. Imagine when you started your business, if everybody you knew, like they told you to make a list of 100 and everybody on your list wanted to make money, what would happen? Instead of being like, that's a scam, that's a pyramid, don't do that. They're that's ridiculous. Don't call me to sell me. What kind of brother are you? What if everybody wanted to make money? That's what I do. I build this big, fat, warm market of people that want to make money. And then I just become a neighborhood friend. And then what happens is when something's up, now they want to buy something, they're going to come to me. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a little bit more patient, and yet it's funny because I'm very impatient because I'm always selling. I'm always selling and I'm never selling. I'm always talking about something to buy, but I'm never going to push it on you. I'm always talking about something I love to use, but I'm never going to push it on you. You know, here's my new phone. It's a Note 4. I really like it. And the reason why I like it is because it has this S Pen and I can pull it out and it's easier for me to text and stuff because my fingers are fat and I'm old. And this is why I like this thing. If you want it, it's available at amazon.com/Diane. No, it's not really. But I could sit and have a conversation about 22 products in front of anybody. They wouldn't feel like I was selling them, and yet they're searching and running to find the thing I'm talking about. But
Wow,
we all
that's
do that because
magic.
we all talk about where we go on the weekends and what movie we saw. And I'm not trying to give you the we all network, but we all talk about what we dig. So if you just build an audience that wants to make money and talk about the things that you like to make money with, they tend to go check it out. And if a lot of people,
Absolutely.
a lot of people sign up. It's just not that hard. It's not that hard. But I don't know who's going to sign up, but I don't care who it is going to be. In fact, while we're sitting here, I just got a new sign up, and I'm looking to see, and it's somebody who I don't know. So
that's cool too.
I just got a new sign up. I don't know, you can't see it really, but I just got a new MLSP sign up, and it's somebody that I don't really know. It's probably somebody who I've touched around the net, and they got my email and they just signed up. And I signed up 1, 2, 3, 4 people in the last 4 days. Not trying. What if I try?
Getting closer to L7.
Working on it. That's a hop. But
and I know some people think that a lead is strictly someone who subscribed to your newsletter, but I think that a lead can be just someone on your Facebook chat that, you know, they give you your phone number to talk to, and now you're talking. They can be a lead too, right?
well, the funny thing is that people get so excited. I generated this many leads. No, you got this many email addresses. Does the person know who you are? Does the person feel a kindred to you? That's really a prospect. There's a difference between a lead and a prospect. You know, a lead is just a name and an email or a name and a phone number. A prospect is a person that's genuinely interested that you're presenting to. And then a team member is somebody that converted off the presentation. You know, leads are the lifeblood of your business, and yet leads are nothing. And we really have
would you say that you have a huge list at this point
Me?
for
No.
all the years?
No, absolutely
No?
not. No, I do not have a huge list. My list is, I guarantee you, my list might be even smaller than yours. And the reason why is because I communicate in a very specific way that pairs that list down. And I also don't advertise tremendously. Right now I'm running some ads because people go, I heard somebody the other day, they went, you said you don't advertise. I saw your video. Yes, I spent $5. Okay, I admit it. I'm doing a little video stuff because it's like a half a second view I have it at. Well, I would be like an idiot not to, right? But generally, I don't advertise. I don't use, as we talked about yesterday, tripwires or lead bait or any of those things. I mean, if you go to my blog, guys, you're going to see there's no, it says put your name in it. I know some stuff that can help you.
So simple. It's so simple. It was ridiculous.
The only people I want on that list are people that want to hear from me. So I don't want to bribe them to get on my list. Now, let me be clear, okay? If you're an internet marketer, you need to get as many people on the list as humanly possible. So you need to go the other direction. You need to go and do a giveaway and all that stuff. So I'm not saying that's incorrect. It's absolutely correct. But my philosophy is kind of on the other end of the spectrum, coming from a networking perspective, because I was years in traditional network marketing. My list is really solid and really tight. My list opens my emails. My list responds to me. They write back to me. My list is like people that I care about. It's not just, a massive number of names. So is it really big? No. Is it maybe the most responsive list out there? I don't know. I don't know what everybody else's does. I know what mine does. Do I love my list and the people that are on it and care about them? Yeah. And does everybody who wants to be around me know that if you're not on my list, you kind of don't exist in my world? Yeah. So, and when people talk to me and I'm like, first thing I say is, are you on my list? And they're like, I'm like, I don't think you are. Or I like when they lie to me and tell me they're on my list and I'm looking them up. They're not on my list. I'm like, get on my list. And they can have 70 days. I don't care. But if you wanna be with me, maybe there's a price to pay. You know, get on the list.
Be on my list. Get on my list. Yeah, I love it. I love it. You really take care of your list and make sure that there are people who know you that are there. And you know, a lot of people, they had their average email open rates are like 2%, 5%, maybe 10%. I bet that you have a higher percentage than that who open your emails, right?
A little bit. A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. A little bit.
So what would you say that people who sign up to your list, they're like 50% of them come through your direct conversation with them, and the other 50 from the videos that you do?
No, I'd say most of them come from content or on videos, content, interviews like this, because a lot of people ask me to do an interview or something, from meeting me at events, for my speaking engagements, etc. And even then, when I meet someone, now, if I were starting over, would I be more aggressive about making sure I got every email and so on? Yeah, and I was at the beginning. Nowadays, I'm just like, look, there it is. I'm like, you want it? Great. Don't want it? Great. But then when somebody talks to me, I know right away if they're on the list because I know what's going on. And if they don't know what's going on because they haven't been reading my emails, I'm like, I really can't do too much for you because you're not reading the stuff I'm sending out to help you. You don't know when my hangouts are, you don't know when my calls are, you don't know what's going on, you don't know, I can't help you. So I guess I'm just an old curmudgeon, like your grandma or something that's just like, you'll eat your vegetables and you'll like it. She's not too worried about whether you get mad at her or not. I'm not worried about who wants to be on the list, who doesn't. This is today. When I was a young marketer just building a list back in the day, I was just everybody, get on the list, I was trying to get everybody and everybody on the list. And then I got more particular about who and what. I'm not here to convince anyone. I'm just here to share my and it's a really
share a message. Yeah. I know. Yeah. And what do you say, like you have like somebody subscribes, you have like this elaborate huge email follow-up with this email 1, 2, 3.
The answer to this, the answer. I have one letter in there, and everything else is written live. I write to my list, mostly daily, not every single day, depending on what's going on. I write in real time, like I was writing to a friend. I do not have a canned letter set. I do not. Yeah, I don't have any of that.
What if you have like, you gotta know, check out this, you have a lot of great resources, videos that you've already done, put it on the follow-up and just let people kind of see it, or you just, let's do it live right now, what's going on, and that's it.
Let me tell you my philosophy. Truthfully, I think that cold market, you should have a pre-written, if you're advertising, you have to have a properly calibrated marketing thread with that ethical bribe up front, with that, thank you, with a video to introduce them to you, potentially with a small ticket sale on that page. And then you need to have a minimum of 60 to 90 letters in that autoresponder that is constantly pulling out content and making offers. With strangers, you just need to plow them through and pop a sale as quick as you can. That's how you get them on the phone because they already bought something. With people that you know and that you've met in your warm market that you've developed, it would be really obnoxious to send that same stuff. Being a networker.
So you focus more.
Being a networker.
You focus more on the work market. Well, on the warm market.
I develop a massive warm market. I'm pretty well known in our space, and I'm always looking to bridge into more spaces and more awareness. Warm market is easier. It's just always going to be easier. Cold market is more expensive. It has to be calibrated. You have to be much more skilled to market that way. Quite frankly, the reason why I market the way I do is because I was a mom with 2 little kids. and I didn't have time to write 90 letters and calibrate them and write them properly. Most people, when they get started, they don't know how to write well. They don't know how to communicate well. They don't know how to do this. So the idea that you have to prepare all of this before you can get out of the gate is kind of like, it made no sense to me. Now, do I have friends that are multi-millionaires that market, you know, in an internet marketing methodology like that, that are absolutely incredible geniuses? Yes, I do. It's just not my way, because I wanted something fun, simple, magical, that I can do around the kids. So I catered, well, it does. I catered something to fit my needs. Also, I'm kind of, like I mentioned, ADHD. So the idea of sitting down and creating these long drawn out projects to me is like impossible. I can do something that I can do in a day or two. That's the extent of my focus. And I'm just being frank. So when I write one letter, I can write one great letter. I wrote a great letter yesterday. I'm doing a follow-up set of webinars today. You know, and from like a 3 or 4 letter set, I can go ahead and sign up and create, I don't know, probably $2,000 in residual income extra, right? Just from 2-3 letters, maybe a couple of phone calls real quick. That's a dream in traditional network marketing. It's a dream to be able to sign that many people, create that much residual income, and to be able to influence that many people to jump on the phone or buy things from you that quickly. So
absolutely, I hope you're taking notes, guys. It's total gold here. What Diane is sharing. So, what are some of the things, Diane, that people can, you know, right now? They can go right now and they start generating leads. Just right now, decide.
First thing you need is, if you don't have it, and ask Vitaly for his link, you need to get an autoresponder. Okay, I use. What do you use? You use Aweber, or do you use
Aweber?
Okay. So ask him for his link. Just ask him, what's your link? Okay, because he will make $6 and he will become wealthy on $6 that you give him.
Yeah.
That's a disclaimer too. He will make $6 if you buy it. Okay, it's $20. You need it. If that's all you could afford at all, you could build a business with it. Now, once you have an autoresponder set up, you got to go through the directions of the training and you set it up. Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to get out on the net and we're going to start meeting 10 people a day. For those that are appropriate, you're going to invite them to your newsletter that you just set up. Guys, it's just a newsletter. It's you sharing things you learn that would be helpful to people and letting them know about different things that are going on, like webinars or whatever, that you can invite them to, that they can come to. Okay? It's no big deal. It's no big deal. It would just be like you told your buddy, hey, we're all going to the movies on Saturday night. We're going to see this. We'll be at this movie theater. And the guy can come or he doesn't want to come. So I say, hey, Wednesday night, we're going because Mark Harbert's going to show us how to generate leads on Facebook really reasonably. We're all going to be there. Come on down if you want. Here's the link. That's simple. It doesn't have to be some big sales, fancy dancy thing. And we're going to go out. We're going to meet 10 people. And when we meet the people, we're just meeting them, right? And it's easy to meet them through other people, by the way. It's a lot easier to, instead of walking up to strangers, it's a lot easier to connect with somebody you've already met. And then, and go and through us, meet some of the other people that are in our circle. And while you're talking to people and getting to know them, some of the people will make true confession, and you can say, hey, I have a great newsletter. Those that, you know, it's not appropriate for yet, no worries. You're going to create a piece of content. Guys, if you have a phone, you can make a video. You can upload it to YouTube. It takes about 3 minutes. If we had more time, I'd make one right in front of you for you guys to see. Whoever,
very simple.
Excuse me. Whoever thinks it's hard, it's not. Even Dingbat here can do it. It's very, very easy. You're going to create a piece of content, upload it, and share it around the net. And then you're going to write to that newsletter. I don't care if your dog and your goldfish are on it and that's it. You're going to start writing to the newsletter every day. If there's 3, 4, 5 people, I recommend you ask a few friends to get on there just to test it out for you, and, you know, and just say, I know you'll make fun of me, but please be on my newsletter. So now you're just continually, in every video you make or every piece you make, keep referring them to how to get on your newsletter. Now, you can create a capture form inside of Aweber. It'll show you how to do it. And you can go for 12 bucks, go get a domain name and, you know, work with Johnny or whatever, and you can direct it there. You could start with that. Now, Vitaly can show you much better solutions that will make you look much better and more professional, etc. But I'm just saying that today we can start building a list today. We can start meeting people today. We can start creating content today. And then as we advance, we can learn about different tools that will help us follow up properly and keep in touch with people properly. And then what happens is it starts to snowball. And if you for 90 days would actually follow through and do this consistently, what would happen is that by 45 days, you'd be seeing some real lead action. You'd be seeing some sales action. And by the end of 90 days, you'd be in momentum. Now, if you're really a go-getter, meet 20 people a day. Why not?
20, go for it. Go for 20.
You know, I mean, if you're home, if you're not working, if you're working, you do the best you can. But most people are like struggling to meet 3. If you really want to go, just get out there and meet people and get to know them and find out what's going on in the marketplace, who's following who, what companies are hot, which companies are duds, who went out of business, who's just starting up, so that you can have real conversations with people about their businesses and they see you as an authority. It can happen in 90 days.
People like right now maybe thinking, okay, I'm just going to meet people. Where do I find them? Am I going to a Facebook fan page or a particular group, or you know, where do I dig those people from the pool of Facebook?
My favorite way is to find some people that I already know are leaders and watch what's going on in their profiles. There's almost always some interesting conversations going on. So yep. I like to get into those conversations and see what everybody else said. And most people, what happens is the leader talks, right? And then everybody talks to the leader who made the post. I'm busy talking to the people that are commenting and agreeing with them or checking out their profiles or private messaging them and saying, hey, I love what you said on Joe's post. That was really cool. Yep. Hey, what kind of dog is that you have? So I'm focusing on all the people that are busy talking to the leader, because there's only one leader and there's thousands of them. So it's really easy for me to make relationship with them. And just so nobody misinterprets, I'm not trying to steal anybody's people or anything like that. And I'm not encouraging you to. People that are having a conversation aren't like somebody's downline or something weird or creepy like that, that if you raid something like that. If you go to a party, it's not, if you go to a party, are you more likely to walk over and find somebody you know and then meet the people that are sitting with them, right? Yeah. Or are you more likely to walk over to the guy that's sitting in the corner by himself? No, you're going to go over to somebody you know and say, hey, how are you doing? It's good to see you. And then you're going to meet the other people at his table. And then as you meet those people, they walk around and they introduce you to other people and so on. So it's very easy to network a room. It's very easy to network a group on Facebook and spread out until the next thing you know, everybody knows who you are.
That's an awesome way to do it, and there is absolutely no limits to how many people you can meet. There are like everybody's on Facebook.
People will say something saturated. I'm like, you think? You know, or people will say, oh, everybody's seen that before. I'm like, yeah. People say that about MLSP, and I think it's hysterical. It's like hundreds of thousands of dollars later, and I'm just constantly making more money. And people will be like, oh, everybody's heard of that. And I'm like, I meet people all day long that have never heard of it. And I meet people all day long that think they know what it is, and they're busy, you know, chasing 50-cent team members over $100 team members. I'm like, okay, go rock it out. Rock it out. Nothing.
I'm just curious, how many people are affiliates of MLSP, if you know this stat, or act? How many people are affiliated with MLSP? I mean,
I don't know. Truthfully, I don't know the number, and I should find out because it would be a good statistic. But you figure between mastery members, university members, and affiliates, a lot. I don't know the number.
Because there are people who are not paying for the membership, but kind of affiliates with MLSP, right?
Yeah, you can be an affiliate. Sometimes somebody wants to sell one of the products or something like that, and they don't get all the benefits of being a member. But yes, but there's a lot of people affiliated with MLSP. Yeah.
So let's talk for a second. Why are you so passionate about MLSP? I mean, what is so special about it for you? I mean, and what are the biggest leverage points that I know that you know that exist in MLSP that people don't even realize, and that you cannot find anywhere else?
There's so many. The first thing is it's stable. Okay, there's a lot of stuff out there that looks really sexy. It's very volatile. This is stable. It's been stable for years on end. Okay, it's been paying its checks on years on end, etc. Two, there's nowhere else where you can take the top talent in the industry and use them to talk and recruit and sell for you, and then you get to sell their products and keep all the money. It's insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
insane. Okay.
You leverage their work. They are speaking, they're doing the presentation, they're having the product, and you know just talk about it, and you make all the commission, right?
Yeah, I mean, even if you can't talk about it, just get them on the webinar and let them listen, and you have the top talent. And what I love best too is, like, for example, I'm not very technical. I don't know a lot about advertising, some of these different things. And yet I can bring my folks that are interested in that down to listen to perhaps somebody like Mark Harbert, who's just brilliant. I'm not I have a blog, but I don't, I'm not a blogger. So I can bring them down to listen to somebody like Ray Higdon, who's just brilliant, and so on and so forth. People want to learn about Facebook advertising. I mean, my version of Facebook advertising is hit the button that says boost and spend $5. So if somebody really wants to learn really advanced tactics, I can bring them over to Michelle Pescasolido and they can learn from her. So I'm able to utilize the minds of the top people in this profession. I don't have to know it all. I don't have to handle it all. I'm also able to utilize the fact that we have a Monday nights, we have, getting started for your new guy. So I don't have to sit and hold my guy's hand. He goes over to the training. It's taken care of. We have a webinar going on almost every night where people can gather and be part of the community. We have a Facebook group that's very active. People can get answers 24 hours a day. We have an incredible support team that knows stuff that I don't know. I'm always saying, I don't know, support at MLSP.com. Ask them, they know. So I have all of these mechanisms that allow me to focus on what I'm best at while still having access to what everybody else is best at. And that is unheard of. It's just unheard of. A lot of, in a network marketing company that's paying in multi-levels, the upline will do the talking because they're earning on the whole thing. But this is an affiliate program. And so it's not a multi-level program, which is great because it makes it safe to utilize along with a network marketing program. But the fact that the leaders are so committed and, put in their time and do the wake up calls daily and do the training calls, not for the sake of making a buck, but because we're all very committed to this message. It's just powerful. Right. It's just really powerful. But here, let me tell you the biggest thing that I think that nobody gets about MLSP. MLSP has a huge database, over 250,000 networkers and home business owners. And when you become known in MLSP and start to become successful here, what happens is they expose you to that full database, which means that all of a sudden, one day, boom, your name, your image, your face gets sent out to 250,000 people in the industry. That's a pretty valuable thing. And
that's leverage, right there.
Doing that. I don't know of anyone else doing that. So it's pretty big leverage. It's pretty masterful stuff. And people don't realize that. They're tootling around, and I'm like, guys, man, I would be working this thing like crazy because they just, they put you on their stage and they put you on their blog and they put you in front of everybody. It's crazy. And they literally make new rock stars. That's the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. This whole exposure part, I think that when they put you on a webinar, on put you on stage, and you said 250,000 members in their database, that's a huge leverage right there. So it just just go and learn how to do something, get results, and they're get advanced through the ranks, and they're going to recognize you. They're going to do this.
What's really cool? It takes 2 people at the mastery level, 2 people to be in profit, right? 10 people and you're making $1,000, and it takes only 84 people to make 6 figures, not including any sales of products. That's just memberships. Where else can you make 6 figures with 84 people? Now, again,
I don't know.
Not a financial claim. We're not saying this will happen for you. We're not saying this is a typical result. Most of the people don't recruit 2, 3, 4 people. which is typical of every program out there because people get in, they dabble around, they, they're not really trying. But when you look at those numbers, and again, no promise of income. Most people don't make much money at all because they don't try. But when you do that, do you think you could focus in for the next 6 months and go find 84 people? What if it took you a year to find 84 people that want to do this? You're making 6 figures. Hello. Again,
absolutely.
Retail profits from products, which are significant, have been significant in mine. 35%, I think they said 35% of all revenue paid out. 30% all revenue paid out is products. So you figure you could look on top of that, so it would be another, third of what you're bringing in. Again, no promises. Your ratios could be different. I tend to sell a lot of products because I'm a retailer at heart.
And the target market here is a little bit different because with MLSP, now you can target everybody who is in home business. I mean, you can give them solutions. Everybody who is building a network marketing, direct sales, top tier, doesn't matter what it is. If you only have like your own network marketing company or direct sales company, that's the only thing that you have. You can only give solutions to a certain group of people, right?
Yeah, I also think it's nice when you lead with attraction marketing. And I was explaining this to a group the other day, and they were like had like bells ringing because they were like, oh my gosh, the caliber of people that you tend to bring through the process, by the time it's time to present your MLM to them, you've sorted them so you have a better caliber of people. You have a person who's business minded, not just Sally down the street that you're trying to convince. And they already trust you. So now when you show them your MLM, if they should decide to get started, the likelihood of them coming in at a higher level, if there's different levels to start at, and the likelihood of them getting out of the gate strong and starting to build the depth is much higher than if you are just trying to, convince general population people that want to work from home. You're getting a more business-minded individual, who has usually, our crowd usually has a little bit of experience, a little bit more understanding. So the ability to get them to produce volume fast is much higher. It's much higher. So
it's also a great training program and leadership development program for people who have teams in their network marketing business. They can plug in MLSP and they will learn how to market online and how to become a leader and how to brand themselves, right?
Yeah. So there's a lot of benefits all around. The big issue is understanding the flow through. Sometimes people struggle with it, which is why I like to keep mine so simple, because the flow through is you attract them with what they want, you build a relationship, and then over time you show them what you want to show them in the first place. And guys, it's no different in any attraction thing. You meet a girl, you're a guy, you go out, you meet a girl, you attract her with a conversation about something, and then you invite her out to dinner and you go for a walk and this and that, and it takes a while to get to the close there, whether it's, a long-term relationship or something else, not to be crude, but, but it's worth it, because what happens then is, you really like her and you want a relationship with her, as opposed to, that weird, awkward, yucky thing. So it's really powerful. It's you're much more likely to find a long-term team member that's going to build with you, and you're going to have a real strength in your organization.
Here's a thing that some people are having. They're thinking, I have a home business, there is so much stuff that I have already in this business, and I'm kind of trying to make it work. Now I need to also learn the MLSP part, and I'm going to be like completely overwhelmed, trying to chase 2 things, and
I'm going to fix them. I'm waving my magic wand over them.
Fix them.
It's the wrong thought process. People always say to me too, and just to give you a heads up, I have a conference call in 20 minutes, just so you know. It's funny. People always say to me, well, how do you sell so many things? And I'm like, how does the supermarket? How does Walmart? They don't think of it as multiple businesses. Like, can you imagine if Walmart, do you guys have Walmart in Israel? Do you guys have? Are they over
We
there?
have, we have something similar, not Walmart.
So
No.
that's okay. Because in England they have it's the Walmart Corporation, but it's another name, and so I haven't been to Israel yet, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But you understand, a big box store.
Yeah.
I don't think that every product that's on their shelf is a different product. You know, I mean, a different business.
Right.
Can you imagine if they all thought? Can you imagine a store like that has like 10, 100,000 products in the store, and they think they're all different businesses? They would think their heads would burst. Okay, guys, you have one business. People come in the front door of your business. What you want to do is show something that's most attractive. Just like the supermarket tells you what's on sale this week, and they're trying to get you to come in the front door with their sale items on the front of the flyer. Here, wait. I happen to have the
That's
supermarket.
a great.
Right?
Yeah.
So because they're telling me that I can get this coffee pods are on sale, and I can get for $1 I can get napkins and garbage bags and this and stuff. Poultry and chicken is 40% off. Italian sausage is on. So they're telling me all the things that are on sale to get me to come in the door. So if I look at one of these, for example, sausage, that's a good deal, and then there's a coupon, so you get it even cheaper. So I want to go just to get the sausage and the grapes, right, or whatever. Well, when I get there, I'm going to buy everything else. Okay, so they're getting to come in the door by attracting me with something that interests me. Okay, they're not saying, would you come in our store? We'd like to sign you up for an auto ship. We'd like to give you another bill, and we'd like to have you pay us for the next 7 years. That's not very attractive, right? What they're saying is, come on in our store. We got something great, and it's a great price. In our case, where it's free. We'd like to get you to come into our store. We have a great, training. It's free, or it's $7 or whatever the case may be. Gets you in the door. Once you're in the door, then you start walking up and down the aisles, and you start to see all the different things, and you put things in your cart. That's what our newsletters are, or our webinars are. It's like, oh, come on down this aisle. We have autoresponders. Come on down this aisle. We have this. And there's one big fat aisle that's called residual income. That's where your MLM goes. And that's what most people want, right? They want it, but they're confused about it. So when we start showing people how easy it could be to learn to market online, and how great it would be to add on this residual income program, because it would pay you over and over and over, people just generally go right through and pick it up and throw it in their basket. It's not all that convincing and cajoling and all this other stuff. So it's just changing your thought process to understand, to have your MLM be part of your mix, so that you can service a larger group of people. And then the people who commit to your MLM become your most valuable people, and of course your team, and you're going to build that team and love on them, and go to events with them, etc. But this allows you to continually have people coming through the process and seeing your program. For some people it won't be a match, that's okay, but you can still have them, buy other things from you, or just have a relationship with them in case they change their mind later. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great way to think about it. And in my personal experience, I think it's also easier to lead with MLSP and talk about MLSP kind of than with sometimes with your own opportunity. I don't know if you found out in your experience and people you coach through, it's kind of easier in some way.
Truthfully, I mean, again, I'm always frank. It just depends on where you're marketing. If you're marketing inside of the home business community, then it's much easier to lead with MLSP and information and stuff. If you're marketing like locally, I think it's just as easy to talk about your network marketing company, but you'd still use the same attraction marketing process, which would be to get them onto an email list and to develop them with information, and then invite them to different events and presentations, etc. You don't want to, the day of meeting someone and trying to get that presentation appointment and chasing them and bugging them, when will you have time to watch this video? Oh, you didn't watch it. Watch it tonight. Those days are over, because the follow-up systems that we use, because you can use MLSP just to build the MLM. In fact, I'm doing a whole intensive on this month. Just straight MLM, but using the tools. And that's fine. You absolutely can do that. You just don't want to go to a guy that's already in an MLM and pitch him your MLM. Just like you don't want to go up to a guy that has a girlfriend and tell him you have a girlfriend for him, because it's weird. You don't want to do that.
Talk about those tools for a moment that you mentioned, the funnelizer and CRM in particular.
Yeah, exactly.
What are those things?
We have the tools to be able to build custom capture pages and sales pages, super simple testimonial pages, all different things. And if you're doing it right, if you are in an MLM, you got to be real smart and be compliant with the rules that the company has, but there's all ways that you can do that. So even ladies like me that are digital dingbats can build pages on this thing. I built one for my husband the other night. He was like, wow, that was quick. Like, boom. So you can have pages up, offers up, all kinds of stuff up. Even for your own teams, by the way, you can use this to create great, information sites about the next upcoming convention or the new product launch or all the testimonials or member of the week or whatever, where you're featuring people and telling their story. So it's a very nice tool. And then we have our CRM, which I always forget. I think it stands for Customer Relationship Manager. Yeah, I always know what it stands for. I call it the how to follow up on your people thing. So what it does, it allows you to keep track. Like, I happen to be lucky. I'm pretty good. Once I meet someone, I remember them because I tend to have a better conversation with people. But, if you want to keep track of all these, everybody always says, how do you keep track of everyone? The CRM is your solution, because whether they come through a website and you have them put in there, or whether you put them in there manually, you can take notes on them, remind yourself, set it up when the next time you're going to get a hold of them, when you're going to send them something, when you're going to follow up, etc. You can put in their birthday, all this other stuff. And so now your system every day is telling you exactly what you're supposed to do today. It's like, call these 5 people, send these 3 people this, invite these people to the webinar on Tuesday. And so it's kind of like you sit down, and instead of being like, what do I do? What do I do? It's just like programmed, and it just tells you exactly what to do. And that way you can really fit your business into an hour a day. And people think that's baloney. Well, I live it. I work an hour or 2 a day, and then you'll see me on Facebook because I'm screwing around on my phone. But my job and my money is earned in an hour or 2 a day. My job is done. If I want to do more, I can. And the CRM allows you to really streamline that and be focused and to know where you should put your focus. You also can write, this guy's a loser, etc. So that way, when the email comes in, you can look the guy up in your system while you're talking to him, or even deciding to answer the phone, and you put, this guy's a loser, don't talk to him. I do that on my phone. Do not answer, moron. Am I supposed to say that?
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I use the CRM myself all the time. When I'm talking to somebody on the phone, or whether I'm chatting or whatever, I just make notes there, and I know next times, I know some critical details about them and our conversations, and I don't have to remember all this stuff. So, I mean, it makes our life incredibly easy. Do you use it too? Like, do you use the CRM?
Because I've used different tools. I started, and it's upstairs in my office, I started with a card file box, A to Z and 1 to 31, same concept, right? Everybody had a card, and then you put on what day you're supposed to follow up with them. So it was a thing. It was just before we had these tools. Yeah, I think it's extremely important that people learn how to use it. I don't use it the same as everybody, I have to admit, because I'm lucky, and I remember a lot of stuff about people because I just connect with people on a deeper level. But I do schedule myself to follow up with people, and I do write certain things about people that I want to keep track of. So it's extremely effective. If you are building a network marketing company and you're working without a CRM, you're kooky. Just kooky. If you're building any type of business that requires networking and knowing an audience, you're just kooky. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you give us a couple minutes to kind of your best advice how to convert your leads into actual signups? I know that you can do it with your email follow-up, do webinars, do all kind of stuff, but how to actually give your best advice how to convert leads into sales?
Sprinkle sugar. And what I mean by that is, like, I'm always selling a lot of the same things, but I do different offers and different things. Like this month, I'm offering a special intensive on a particular topic. So I'll come out with different offers surrounding a particular thing. I just sprinkle sugar on it. I add something of extra added value, if you get this, you're going to get this. And that's what they do at the mall. You know, it's a one-day sale. You know, it's just with, you know, gift with purchase. If you buy this perfume, you're going to get this makeup with it or whatever. So I'm just always sprinkling sugar on the offers. I don't necessarily call people up and try to close them. I'm very bad at that. I mean, I'm truthful. I just, you know, let people know there's something cool.
That's cool, and I know a lot of people take action on your email. So you just write an email. I know you're really good at this stuff, writing a really good email, and people are like they love to read those because you're not like, I know a lot of people, they're like, when they write an email, they're like benefit, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my. Your emails are different, you know. You're engaging them. You're telling a story, right?
I tell stories. Everything's a story. And that'll be a topic. Maybe I'll come back another day. We'll do another interview about stories. Stories are everything. Stories and engaging the people and pulling them in and letting them be a voyeur in your life. Yesterday, it wasn't a letter, but it was on Facebook. I cooked a duck. I've never cooked a duck before. And I had pictures and we were all discussing this duck and everybody was waiting to see the duck, you know, and then they wanted to know what it good. They were engaged in a story. Now, right after that story was over, I went, hey, by the way, I have a call tomorrow, which is in a couple minutes. But you wait until they're really engaged and the audience is excited. And then you go, by the way, here's something cool. So that's, you know, one of the techniques is to pull them in. And then another technique is to push them over the fence when they're not taking action by sprinkling sugar on it.
And I know we can get like for another 2 hours by this whole just storytelling part, and it's so crucially important. Do you have some training inside My Lead System Pro on storytelling? On
there's well, first of all, there's a course in there. It's a little $7 course which you can share with people on getting prospects to buy, and then there's also a whole system campaign on storytelling, stories that sell. So you can put out the links when you give this out. So yeah, there's a couple of good resources in there. And then for those of you that are members at the mastery level, go search the library, just throw my name into the search and you'll find a lot of training on this. You can sell more with a story than anything under the sun. It's just understanding how to craft it properly, which takes a little time and practice.
Yeah, just go to MLSP. You'll search there in the training library. They have like 500 webinars. Put in the search bar Diane Hochman. You'll pull up like, I don't know, tens of different webinars. I don't know how many Diane did there, but there's a lot of great webinars.
Years, so yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot, and also you can dive even deeper because I know you have some products inside MLSP that people can check out, right?
Absolutely, we have Attraction Marketing Intensive. We have the Deep Abyss, which is a monthly mastermind. That's all mindset. Attraction Marketing Intensive is all. In fact, Attraction Marketing Intensive has full units on storytelling, etc. All the stuff that we're talking about today, it's all covered in there, soup to nuts. Deep Abyss is a mastermind. And right now, the Guru Code is not available. We'll probably bring that back out again in the future. But that one is in the vault. It's hiding for a little while. I like to lock them up for a bit. So we'll see if we bring it back out.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can like log in, enter this MLSP and get access to all the tools, all the training, everything that's inside for like $10, right? I mean, people can get access to all of it right now for $10 and see everything inside.
Absolutely, it's incredible. You know, I always tell people, just get the trial. Look and see, and if it's for you, awesome. Let's get you hooked up and everything. If not, no harm, no foul. No big deal. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah, go buy yourself a Starbucks.
Yeah, we'll give you the $10. No, what's even better is if they don't like it, they get their $10 back. So we don't even keep the $10. You know, so it's really awesome. It's really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. One last question, Diane. I know you have to go.
I do. I have a call in 4 minutes, just so you know. A conference call.
Me too.
In 4 minutes.
Me too. One last question. What are your thoughts of encouragement would be for people who, you know, they're watching right now and they may say to themselves, well, you know, Diane is so awesome. She has so much experience. She's been down around the block, but how I can do it, how I can do it, how I can succeed. Maybe you can tell them a couple of words of encouragement that they can do it.
You can do it the same way I did it when I was a broke housewife. I found some training and I found a team of people that had walked before me, and I plugged in with them. And I worked. I did the work every day, and I listened to people that were teaching me. And I worked and worked and built up my income. And then when I had built a big income, that's when I spun off and started doing all this stuff. Guys, in the beginning, you need to learn how to generate a lead. You need to learn how to talk to a lead. You need to learn how to create a capture page. You need to learn how to write a letter, all the fundamentals. And that's what we do. That's what My Lead System Pro is about. That's what Vitali's about. That's what we do. And if you just make a decision and plug in, it can all happen for you. I promise. 100%. I'm here to, I'm walking, living, breathing proof that a person who can barely run their computer, and ask Vitaly another time about all the technical problems today before we even got on, a person who is ADHD, a person who was bringing up little kids, a person who had, in the beginning, an unsupportive spouse, now very supportive, but back then, a person who had health problems. I could sit here and list all the drama that I had. The question just is, why not you? Because if you want to, you can. Why not you?
Why not you? And we are going to support you. We're going to stand behind your back. Me and Diane and everybody in MLSP, we're going to support you. We're going to be by your side. You'll never feel alone. So it's an incredible time, it's an incredible opportunity. I want to thank you, Diane Hochman, from the bottom of my heart. You just, gave so much value here. I encourage people to watch it maybe a couple times, because there's so much stuff right there that you shared. And it's incredible. I mean, you're inspiring me so much every day. I follow you. I watch your videos. I buy your courses. And it helped me. It helped me a lot. And that's why I recommend other people do as well. And to get results. And thank you for all that you do.
No, and thank you for being an incredible student, somebody who plugs in, and you're why I do what I do. And guys, if you're watching right now, you're why Vitaly does what he does. So join him, join us, let's get going. And in the meantime, I'm so violently stopping this webinar because I have to leave. I have people joining me. So I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys later, okay?
See you guys later.